Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and in today's video we will continue our work on this inventory frame right here. And as you can see, in the last episode we have created this upper bar which represents all of the equipped fighters, okay? And in today's episode we will make this unequipped button work, okay? So what is going to happen when we make this unequipped button work? So let me just quickly explain you my idea and then we will hopefully move on. So of course, when you hit unequip on one of those buttons, the fighter gets unequipped. Means it is going to disappear from around us, from around our character, and it is going to go to this bottom frame, let's say, which actually holds the fighters which are currently in our inventory and not equipped. Okay, so that's important to understand. Yeah, and so that's basically the idea. So we already have everything set up. Let's call this scrolling frame inventory because it actually is a inventory. So okay, now let's head into this frame and let's wait. Okay, yeah, so this is our button. Now let's create a local script instead of this button. Make sure that this local script is disabled. Okay, so that's important. Otherwise, it will try to refer to those variables which you are going to define now before even being inside of the frame. And so when you try to refer to something when it is not even there, you will run into an error. Therefore, this local script is going to be unable to work. Okay, so just keep it disabled. We will enable it later on inside of the script when we clone all of those frames inside of this frame right here. I mean, all of those frames actually at the end. Okay, so let's do the following. Let's create a remote event instead of the replicated storage, and let's call this fighter server. Okay, and we are first of all going to define this remote event. So remote game get service replicated storage. So we have to refer to the replicated storage and then wait for child fighter server. Okay, so we are referring to this one. Now script parent mouse button one click means when the left mouse button has been clicked. Okay, so script parent is basically our button, and when the left mouse button has been clicked while hovering over this button, then certain things are going to happen which we are now going to script. So the first thing which is going to happen is that we want to fire server this remote event. Okay, and we of course, when we want to fire server, we actually want the server to do something, okay? Because we, as clients, we're unable to, manipulate our folders, because they are server-sided at the end. And if we try to edit them as a client, it will not work out, okay? So that's the whole topic around filtering enabled. So we need to pass some information onto the server through this fire server function we are using, and those information are, or pieces of information are things like the fighter which we are trying to unequip, so we can retrieve that through the frame's name as far as I can remember from the last episode, and that we want to unequip it. Okay, so that would be the second argument. Or let's say that this would be the first argument, and the second one would be the name of our fighter. Okay, and I have to look up quickly where we have actually done that. Wait, frame name, fighter name. All right, so we can actually do script parent. Where is it? Script parent dot name. Okay, and by doing so we retrieve the name of the fighter it is representing. Now, so this is actually it for the button. We could, of course, add some sounds if you want to, but I don't think that this is actually necessary. We will now enable this local script, which we have right here. Means frame action local script disabled false. So frame action local script and disabled is going to be set to false, means this is being enabled. Okay, and this is it for this button. We will now need to work on the stuff which is server-sided, okay? Let's call this fighters handler. And let's get rid of this code, because I don't think that we will need this anymore. Now, let's define some stuff. So, of course, this remote event, this is important, and that's actually it, so there's nothing more to define. Now, let's do the following. So, remote on server event connect function. Wait, function. And let me quickly go through what this does. So, we are referring to our remote event. And this on server event basically happens when you fire serverless remote event. So this one is the code which reacts to our fire server. Okay, so that's important to understand. And yeah, so just everything as usual, connect function, and then the first argument is the player. And this player's argument is automatically being passed. Okay, so you do not need to put it inside of here or anything. It is automatically being passed through this local script, through this fighter server function. Okay, now we have two more arguments right here, and we will now need to add them right here. So we could do val and val2, and we are using this val to tell a script what it is supposed to do. So if val equals unequip, then the script knows that it is supposed to unequip something, or to unequip a fighter, and we have the fighter stored inside of this val2. Okay, so let's try and do that. But there is something we need to take care of, and let me quickly show you what the problem is. So as you can see, we currently have a folder called equipped characters, but we have no folder for our fighters inventory. Okay, and that's a problem because, well, where are we going to store our fighters inside of when they're not equipped, you know? Therefore, we need to create that folder now. Come on. So let me go inside of this data store and let me create a second folder. So just called folder 2. And let's not call it in equipped characters, but yeah, come on, unequipped characters. And I'm still thinking about how we could do this. So there are, of course, many methods to get to work on that. You know what? We could do it this way. So we could actually duplicate the script, then call datastore2 if we want to, okay? So just to make things easier, and we can now call this unequipped characters. And then just change this data store to something else, you know, so that they do not corrupt each other. So the data, of course. All right. With that being said, you need to take care of this, for example. So unequipped characters, so that you do not leave those out. Unequipped characters. Unequipped, unequipped, unequipped. Okay. Now, let's go inside of this fighter's handler. So what is going to happen? So we will move this equipped character into this unequipped characters folder, okay? So we first of all need to check whether the fighter is actually at its position where it is supposed to be, means that it is inside of that folder. So let's define a variable called find fighter, and this one is going to refer to this equipped characters folder, and it is going to perform this find first child. And of course, we are going to look for the name of that fighter, which is stored inside of val2. So as you remember, val2 is this frame's name, and the frame's name is the name of our fighter. Okay, now, if find fighter, so if the fighter is actually inside of this equipped characters folder, then we want to get rid of that fighter inside of there, and we want to create a new int value. Okay, and this int value this time is going to be inside of this unequipped characters folder. So unequipped characters, and yeah, it is just going to be a new entry instead of an unequipped characters folder. And yeah, so X name equals val2, so val2 is our fighter's name, as I've already told you. Okay. That's actually it, so there's nothing more into it. So let me duplicate this frame. Let me call this one unequipped character. So, unequipped character. And instead of having a unequipped button, we are going to have a equip button. And let's clone this local script and let's put it inside of this inventory. And yeah, so let's change some things. For example, this thing. So unequipped fighters. So I've just changed it to unequipped fighters. So yeah, and let's change this to unequipped character so that it refers to that folder. So unequipped fighters. And yeah, so the frame we want to refer to is of course this unequipped char frame. So unequipped char. No. Okay, I'll check if everything is all right. Okay. And that's it for this folder. Okay. We could possibly... Well, it is actually pretty easy. So let's go inside of this button for equipping the character when it is inside of the inventory, okay? So go inside of here and just change this unequipped to equip, okay? So I'm now going to quickly script this equip case, okay? So that when you want to equip a new character, and then I'm gonna end the video at this point, and then we are going to finish this inventory thing, hopefully in the next episode, because let me tell you one thing. So we are able to change, you know, those integer values inside of those folders, etc., etc. So this is of course going to work, but we still did not implement that. Changing those integer values means removing an integer value from the equipped characters folder, so that this change results in actually changing the fighter which is around here, okay? So we of course want that fighter to disappear once the equipped character entry has vanished, okay? And that is going to be the topic for the next episode, which is hopefully going to finish this whole topic about this inventories frame. Okay, so we have this equip thing right here, and it is actually the same thing as above, just the opposite case. So find fighter, instead of looking for the fighter inside of this equipped characters folder, we want to look inside of that unequipped characters folder, and we want to destroy it. And then we want to put it inside of the equipped characters folder, guys. Okay, and this is actually it. So if we now test this thing out, I could unequip this one, and this one. And okay, so the GUIs are a little bit buggy, but we will hopefully take care of that in the next episode. So as you can see, I only have 2 fighters equipped currently, okay? But they are still 5, and that's a problem I was talking about. So we'll hopefully take care of that in the next episode, okay? So if we try to equip them, it works as well, okay? So, and that's it for today's video, guys. I hope that you have enjoyed it. If so, leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends. Leave me feedback in the comment section, guys. Take care and see you in the next episode.